ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात्कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः स्वशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो हरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Mantra number 7, page 46. नान्तः प्रज्ञं न बहिष्प्रज्ञं नोभयतः प्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञानघनं न प्रज्ञं नाप्रज्ञम् अदृष्टमव्यवहार्यमग्राह्यमलक्षणम् अचिन्त्यमव्यपदेश्यमेकात्मप्रत्ययसारं प्रपञ्चोपशमं शान्तं शिवमद्वैतं चतुर्थं मन्यन्ते स आत्मा स विज्ञेयः. Shaṅkara says on page 45, second paragraph, अतः न अभिधानेन निर्देशम अर्हति शशविषाणादि समत्वात् निरर्थकत्वं तर्हि न. आत्मत्व अवगमे तुरीयस्य अनात्म तृष्णा व्यावृत्ति हेतुत्वात् शुक्तिकावगमः इव रजत तृष्णायाः. न हि तुरीयस्य आत्मत्व अवगमे सति अविद्या तृष्णादि दोषाणां संभवः अस्ति. न च तुरीयस्य आत्मत्व अनवगमे कारणमस्ति. सर्वोपनिषदां तादर्थेन उपक्षयात्. तत्त्वमसि अयमात्मा ब्रह्म तत्सत्यं स आत्मा यत्साक्षादपरोक्षात् ब्रह्म स बाह्याभ्यन्तरो ह्यजः आत्मा एव इदं सर्वम् इत्यादिना. So we already saw, since there is no shabda pravrutti nimitta, nimitta a condition for verbal access. A object doesn't have any condition by which you can reveal the object through a word. If that object has certain kriyā, which is a condition, then you can use a word from the language which denotes kriyā. Like a person who drives. So we have a word in language, driver. So like that there are conditions. There are some objects which we know just by name. We have to give some name. So that is the name given after birth, on the 6th day. So then the person will be known by that word called rūḍhi. This particular place is known like this. So a well-knownness between a word and an object. That's a rūḍhi, one of the conditions. Then a thing must have some jāti, species, because the thing which is there is born in a given species. So jāti will be there. And belong to that jāti, many members will be there. So in all the members, every member is a particular one. what is common between all the members is called jāti, like many human beings. So the human being has a humanness, manushyatvam, a jāti. So, and then that a given thing has certain gunas also, attributes, height, this, that, etc., color, various gunas. It's another condition. So like that, rūḍhi, then jāti, then guṇa, then kriyā, like that. So there are 5 conditions are there by which you can reveal an object in the world and through a word. That is the language. And Brahman happens to be free from all the conditions, right? And therefore, it's not that the Brahman was the object. Everybody sees in whenever a person is born, parents say, look, this is cow, this is Brahman, okay? This particular object is called Brahman, and child knows, okay. It's nothing like that. Pratyaksha Vishayatvat we saw. And therefore, that kind of a well-knownness as an object is not there, because it is not an object at all for a sensory perception. And therefore, there is no rūḍhi. And Brahman is not born, which has a jāti. Many Brahmans are there. And what is common in all is a jāti. So that many Brahmans are there, and it has a jāti called Brahmatvam. No. It's not born at all. There is a question of jāti. And it doesn't have any guṇa. If anything which has a guṇa, you can objectify. Any guṇa. 1, 2, 3, 4, any number of gunas. You can always identify. That's how you objectify. So because of a certain type of features, etc., you say this is a Swami. Right? So you a guṇa, etc. So like that, there are no gunas by which you objectify. A limitless thing cannot have any guṇa. A guṇa means a qualifications. Then qualification means a given thing is qualified from other, is made distinct from other. That's not there. So, and kriyā, nishkriyatvam, Bhashyakara says avikriyatvam, it doesn't have any kriyā at all. Anything that basically a limited thing has all these kriyas, those things which as a part has a kriyā, etc. Anyway. So all conditions are not there at all. Therefore, abhidhanena nirdesham narhati. Abhidhanena nirdesham na arhati. Nirdesham, revelation. Abhidhanena, shabdena. Through shabda, it is not fit to be it is not fit to be revealed through a word. Then this question arises by Pūrvapakṣa. Shashavishāṇādi samatvat nirarthakatvam tarhi. So well, then it is equal to samatvam, shashavishāṇā. So earlier also that kind of Pūrvapakṣa was there, and here also the same example again. Earlier it said shashavishāṇādi samatvat shunyam. This thing which has no guṇa, no jāti, no kriyā, it is not known also, all these things. Therefore, basically, this kind of thing is not there at all, for which you don't have any word. It's a non-existent thing. Any non-existent thing cannot be revealed by a word. So, word, right? Word, when you use in a language, it has a certain meaning called object. Something will be there. So, such kind of words will not be there in any language which cannot have any object, any meaning. A meaningless word exists in a language. No. So this can be, if it is not revealed by a word, it could be shunyam, etc. It come before. Now we say, no, it's ādhishṭhānam for everything. What you experience in this world is non-existent thing, cannot be experienced. We experience the world. It has existence. And that existence that do not belong to that world, then it could be belong to something else. Could be the ādhishṭhānam will be there. Anyway, so he said, okay, ādhishṭhānam is there, and then saṃbandha, and that's what his Pūrvapakṣa was. If ādhishṭhānam is there and everything is adhyaropa, then adhyaropa ādhishṭhāna saṃbandha, supported. That's what we negated. It is that it is everything is mithyā, and therefore mithyā thing cannot have a saṃbandha with a real thing, and therefore through saṃbandha also it cannot be revealed, etc. We saw that all. Anyway, so he accepts that such a thing is there which lends existence to everything, and because of which everything is experienced and all fine. But if you cannot reveal through the word, then it is as good as nothing. Like that he says. Shasha Vishanadi Samatva. So it is nirarthakatvam. If it is your that ādhishṭhāna, Turīya, is useless. And Bhashyakara says, well, so Bhashyakara says, no, that's not nirarthaka. Because atmatva avagame, turiyasya atmatva avagame, anatma tṛṣṇā vyavrutti hetutvat. So basically, turiyasya atmatva avagame, that Turīya, the Brahman which is ādhishṭhānam for the entire cosmos, universe, atmatva avagame, it is known as a self, avagama, jnanam, atmatva avagame, anatma tṛṣṇā vyavrutti hetutvat. So, anatma tṛṣṇā, all of our tṛṣṇās are there, all our desires are there for anatma. What type of desire? Desire to acquire, desire to give up, both pertaining to the world, anatma only. Certain things we want to acquire, certain things we want to give it up. So, when you know Atma, this anatma tṛṣṇā vyavrutti happens, nisheda happens, means it goes away. The tṛṣṇā, the desires for the anatma will go away. Because basically it is not available for vyavhara. Vyavhara is of two types, jnana vyavhara, karma vyavhara. Jnana vyavhara means seeing, etc. Seeing, hearing, all this, right? Pratyaksha. Because it is not an object. Therefore, jnana vyavhara is impossible. That Atma becomes a object of your knowledge, it is not possible. You are the subject because of which everything you objectify. Everything becomes an object of knowledge. That is you. That's the consciousness, that is you. That's so our Turīya, that is consciousness, which is Atma. Anyway, therefore, jnana vyavhara is not possible. Then karma vyavhara, adana pradana, that's what I said, acquiring, giving up. That's also pertaining to the objects only. And if Atma basically is, which is the ādhishṭhāna of everything, which cannot be objectified, but because of which everything is objectified, including space, time and everything, that Atma is basically limitless. If you understand that I am limitless, then where is the tṛṣṇā for any object? Tṛṣṇā will be there when you see yourself as a wanting being, right? You see yourself as a limited being. You see yourself as a being with a certain lack. So, if you see yourself like that, an individual, waker, etc., mostly waker. So, that also implies dreamer, etc. So, when you see yourself as a waker, a limited entity identifying with this body, mind, sense complex, you will have a number of desires to acquire, number of desires to give it up. Because certain things you see that by acquiring you will gain certain security, joy, fullness. Certain things you feel that they are threat to your insecurity, threat to your joy, threat to your happiness. You want to give it up or you want to keep it away. So all these things are there when you see yourself as an individual, a limited being, a wanting being. But when you know this Turīya as a Atma, which is ādhishṭhānam for the entire cosmos, which cannot be objectified because of which everything is objectified. Everything is evident to you, right? And therefore you exist, your existence is evident to you. Everything is evident to you itself proves that you are there, right? Including space, time, everything is evident to you, means you exist naturally. And you exist, without any means of knowledge. Before even operating any means of knowledge, you know that you are there. Therefore, you are self-evident. That self-evident existence of that self-evident Atma is proven. And therefore, which objectifies space, time, everything, which pervades everything. That's how they are objectified. And therefore, you are the full being, whole being. And and that is ādhishṭhānam for space, time, everything. You are spaceless, timeless. So you are most secure. And the fullness, the joy is which you experience in the moment of joy is yourself. And therefore you don't see yourself as a wanting being in a moment of joy. And therefore you drop that smallness. Therefore basically acquiring certain things and giving up things, and ultimately it's for your own sake you are doing, so that you will be a secure being, so that you will be a full being, happy being. Well, that's what you are. And therefore, basically, all knowing Turiyasya Atmatva Vagame. Turiya is known as an Atma. Turiya is basically, where all the three padas, basically the ādhishṭhānam for all the three padas, Vishwa, Virat and everything, entire cosmos. And therefore, basically, Turiyas anatma tṛṣṇā vyavrutti. In fact, that jnanam becomes a hetu, Bhāṣakara says. Hetutvat. That becomes a hetu for tṛṣṇā nivrutti. For what? For anatma. For any object in the world, in terms of acquiring or giving up. Both the types of tṛṣṇās we have. Hetutvat. And Bhāṣakara gives an example. Shuktika iva avagame, Shuktika avagame iva rajata tṛṣṇāyaha. When you basically know that this is Shuktika, avagama, means jnanam. If you know this is Shuktika, rajata tṛṣṇā goes away, right? Naturally. So rajata, that shell, silver. If you know the shell, definitely the tṛṣṇā, desire for the silver, goes away. Understanding that. And therefore, it is not available for vyavahara, therefore it is nirarthakatvam, it is purposeless. No. It's not. In fact, you are the most secure, timeless being, free from birth and death. And you are a full being, whole being, which is shown as the three padas of three padas of the Atma. So, and this Turīya is the fourth one. Fourth one, it's really not fourth one. It's present in and through all the three. Like a thread is present in the cloth, right? And whatever is there on the cloth, embroidered cloth. If you remember our Panchadashi example, on the embroidered cloth you see there a sun, you see a person, you see a mountain, or you see all these are embroidered in a cloth. All is nothing but you, right? You miss thread. The thread alone is there. Thread alone, that's how they do. Vertical threads, and then they with that loom, etc., they do a horizontal. So otam protam. So the whole world is woven actually in you, Satchidananda, because it cannot be proven existent apart from you, without you, besides you, beyond you. No. So you are woven in the entire world, entire cosmos. You are a whole being. Everything is essentially you. What is there in embroidered cloth, the sun, is nothing but a thread, bunch of thread. Even a mountain is bunch of thread. And even, this, you can say before that, well, sun is nothing but a cloth. Mountain is nothing but a cloth. Right? You may say that. A person is nothing but a cloth. That's fine. But really speaking, not cloth. Even the cloth also is nothing but that thread. Right? Warp and whoop, we call something like that. Otam protam. So the whole cloth is nothing but a woven from the thread. And whatever is there on the cloth also is you. The thread. So you are the thread of the entire creation. If you take away the thread, where is sun, where is mountain, where is that person, where is the cloth? Thread alone is the reality. Right? So same way you are woven in the entire universe. You are the whole. And therefore there is nothing which tṛṣṇā you have of the object. Because all mithyā, in fact. And therefore, no one has a desire, tṛṣṇā, for a mithyā thing. So such a thing is been going to be narrated in the 7th verse. So you say vyavhara, it is not available for vyavhara, for jnana vyavhara, karma vyavhara, ādāna pradāna, etc., acquiring, giving up. It is not available. Karma vyavhara can be this too, acquiring or giving up. Jnana vyavhara means seeing, etc. All this is because for the objects, seeing, hearing, an object, seeing also object, and hearing also an object, everything. So, all this is objectified by you, which is ever present. The whole being is ever present. What is here and now is you. Entire anatma prapancha is never, cannot be called here and now all the time. Here and now. What is here and now in terms of object will not be there in next moment. Even the body, mind, the thoughts. Maybe right now a given thought is there. Here and now is not there next moment. Your memory, which is here and now, will not be there in the future. Right? Means will not be there in the same way. Constantly changing. That is called mithyā. It says ayaram gayaram. That itself that itself reveals that it was not there. It was not there before. It is right now there. It will not be there in the future. That's called changing. And therefore, it's all mithyā. The whole thing, the whole game, the game of these variable objects has an invariable factor. That is you. The whole variable world basically is you. That's what it is. The 3 padas of Atma is you. But you are distinct from that. Distinct means not the 4th one. But basically, you remain you. That's what distinctness. You remain you, appear as 3. Not that you become this 3. Vishva, Tejasa, etc. Anyway, so all the 3 states of experience which we saw as the 3 padas of the Atma are negated here, that way, and revealed as the Turīya. So anyway, so this is Bhashakara's brilliant reply. Knowing Atma, well, all the tṛṣṇās, etc. will definitely go away. Then there is no question of acquiring and all that. Vyavhara will not be there, and it is not an object. Therefore, jnana vyavhara is not there. So, shuktika avagame iva rajata tṛṣṇāyaha. Then, nahi turiyasya atmatva avagame sati avidya tṛṣṇādi doshanam sambhavaha asti, etc., etc. So, yeah. So, turiyasya atmatva avagame sati avidya tṛṣṇādi doshanam sambhavaha nasti. Turiyasya atmatva avagame. Once this knowledge takes place, then avidya tṛṣṇādi doshanam. Avidya, which give rise to, definitely, if there is avidya, mula vidya, I mean, self-ignorance is there, then self is not known as it is, then self is mistaken, and self is mistaken means self is taken as the body-mind sense complex, and from there definitely you will have a notion about the self, and that notion basically is in form of you are a limited being, and therefore you have all the time complaints. You have a complaints in your life, and murmur, and all kinds of desires will be there. Naturally you feel limited, and you don't like those limitations centered on yourself, and now yourself is a physical being, yourself is a emotional being, and everywhere you feel limited, and that is what gives rise to a samsāra. You want to get rid of it, that is kama. So vidya gives rise to kama, and in order to fulfill kama, well, definitely you do varieties of the actions. When you do varieties of the actions, definitely you will produce ādhishṭhāna also, depending upon the pressure of your tṛṣṇās. Definitely kama. So you will definitely, basically cross certain borders of what is right and wrong. And that will, puṇya pāpa will be definitely there, which you will not be able to exhaust in this life. Therefore, you will have a new birth. And this is how janma marana, etc. going on. And it is, avidya is beginningless. And therefore, we are talking now But already what we are talking, we have already suffered or faced in the past. So our account, we don't know how much we have, punya papas. So avidya kama karma, that's Bhashyakara says it is mrityu lakshanam. Bhashyakara calls it as a mrityu. Means sorrow. Mrityu means sorrow. So avidya, Bhashyakara is a really good expression. So anyway, here he says avidya tṛṣṇādi doṣāṇām. Turiyasya atmatva avagame sati. That's a sati saptami. Avagame is a sati saptami. So once the knowledge has taken place, this ignorance and that consequent desires and complaints and etc. and other all the calamities, well, will not be there, because you know now what is Atma. Which means samsāra will not be there. Self non-acceptance will not be. That's the biggest issue. Self non-acceptance. That is how the struggle is called self non-acceptance. No one is happy with what he is. The happiest being in this world is, he lives every day without any change in oneself. Somebody, he is like a stone. No, he is not a stone. Somebody must have conditioned his mind. No, he has not conditioned his mind. You cannot condition your mind. You cannot condition your mind. Because that urge to become full and complete being is so strong, it's a natural urge. If it will not allow you to sit, if you see yourself a limited being, a lacking being, you cannot sit. You have to bring some change here and there depending upon your physical condition. You want to change. Even a very old person also has this desire. Certain desires he has, but he could not fulfill, therefore he feels helpless. Certain desires he or she can fulfill, but within that area, whatever he or she can do, he tries to change. Yeah. And feel little comfortable. But then ultimate comfort cannot come. Therefore you still want to become. You still want to become. You still want to become. Life ends. Bhagavan says, no problem. Another birth. Still I want to become. Still I want to become. This is struggle. Everyone struggles to end the struggle. But struggle will not end like this. Struggle will end only when you know that I need not struggle. That's it. That's called freedom. Freedom is freedom from struggle, knowing myself, struggle-free self. Struggle is to ultimately become, to become a full being. Well, you are full being. You are the ādhishṭhāna of everything. Time, space, everything you pervade. I told you that example of a thread. Anyway, so, very good. So, avidyādi doṣāṇām, avidya, kama, karma, etc. The dosh, ādipadat. Doṣāṇām saṃbhavaha nāsti. Na which is there in the beginning, take it here. Saṃbhavaha nāsti. So, Jnani is incapable of seeing any complaint with reference to himself. And that is, but Swamiji, if self-acceptance is that's called what? That's called joy. How will you say? Because in a moment of joy, you have no complaint for yourself. You have no struggle with yourself. Total acceptance of yourself. If there is a little bit of self-non-acceptance, immediately the joy will come down like this. Like a person who is dropped from the 38th floor, just comes down because of gravity. You will just come down. The moment you become aware of a little limitation of yourself, even in a moment of joy, joy goes away. So in a moment of joy, there is no self-complaint regarding oneself. There is no non-acceptance regarding oneself. Means self is acceptable to you. Then that self is a full self, because you don't desire also in that moment of joy. Therefore, you experience yourself a full self. You don't know you are full self. That's the thing. You experience you are a full self. That's how you struggle. Struggle to basically have the same height. One will always struggle for gaining the same height, same, ecstasy. That's what we try. Anyway, so if Turīya is understood, then there is no problem. That's fine. But Turīya is, you said Atma, Atmatva Vagame. Turīya, when Turīya is known, then there is no problem. But how to know? What you said is not, it doesn't give me knowledge that I am a full being or I am a Turīya. I am Brahman. So, well, do you have any means of knowledge, or you are just talking like that? So, well, the samsāra, nivrutti and big things you said by knowing oneself, but then how will I know? How will I know that I am a free self? What is the pramāṇa for that? So, Shankaracharya ji says, don't worry, Mahāvākya is there. And therefore, the means of knowledge is there. So, this is like, we, all the cats, they had a big meeting that, let's do something about this cat, because that is eating away all our members one by one. She comes very silently and, catches one of our members. And so everything becomes a morsel of... So something has to be done. So their whole very serious meeting was there. And finally it was decided that we should, tie a bell in the neck of the cat. And then, oh yeah, that's wonderful, wonderful. So this is a very meaningful meeting we had. Let's prepare the minutes of the meeting and all that. And then suddenly one wise rat got up. He said, final question. What? Who will tie that bell to on the cat? So all this samsāra nivrutti and all this, you are a free self and all. Hey, how will I know? Yeah, that is true. No. Pramāṇa is there. He is going to quote so many, mantras. And so Bhashyakara says, so, na cha turiyasya atmatva anavagame karanam asti. So, turiyasya atmatva anavagame karanam nasti. Double negative. So, there is no reason for not knowing Turīya. Means there is every reason to know Turīya. There is every reason to know yourself as a free self. Means what? There are pramānas. That you can know. The means of knowledge are there. Pramānasya sattvad. So, sarvopanishadam tadarthena upakṣayāt. Pramāna, the Upanishad. Sarvopanishadam. Bhashyakara says when then he will prove it. And you can see how many are there. From Samaveda, and from Atharvaveda, and from Yajurveda, and from all the Vedas he quote. Means all Upanishads he quote. Sarvopanishadam. Upanishad which has Pramāna, Sarvopanishadam. Well, all the Upanishads are only driving this idea. That, well, O Pramata, O individual, well, definitely don't worry about it. You are essentially the cause of the entire creation. You only pervade the entire creation like that those threads pervade the entire cloth. You pervade. So, Otam Protam, you are that in which the whole world is woven in that. And that is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, etc. So, Sarvopanishadam, all the Upanishads have this one idea that I am full being, and tadarthena upakṣaya. Tadarthena means it has one purpose, and that is it has this purpose. What? Atma is Brahman. That's it. So what you are seeking in your life through all this vivara of acquiring, giving up, and whatever other things you are doing, for what sake? Well, that is yourself. You are already sought. Nothing is to be worried about. So you drop your seeking, basically, knowing that you are the very sought. Tadarthena. So with that particular message, with that tatparya, purport, Atma is Brahman, etc. Upakṣayāt. Sarvopanishadam. Upakṣayāt. So upakṣayāt means ultimately Upanishads telling this that you are Brahman, withdraw. That's it. Become quiet. Means there is no further message. So that is the message given by the Upanishad. That is the purport of all the Upanishads. That's how we in the Brahma Sutra, not we, but in Brahma Sutra it is in the fourth sutra. tattu samanvayat. So samanvayat. All the Upanishads basically have a purport in one thing, that is Brahman. You are Brahman, etc. So upakshayat. Upakshaya means then Upanishad becomes quiet. Upanishad withdraw. After that they don't want to give any message. And that's how you see in a Mandukya Upanishad and tṛṣṇā Upanishad, finally you see this Namah Parama Rushibhyah, Namah Parama Rushibhyah. That's it. After giving that whole teaching, finally is this. The Rishis, the entire parampara. Well, we salute the entire parampara who has given this teaching to us. And even Kathopanishad also, well, you see the withdraws. So, tam vidyat shukram amrutam, tam vidyat shukram amrutam. Repetition is to show the end. In those days, it was not some paper and print, etc. So they oral tradition. So when they repeat certain thing, means it is over now. Tam vidyat shukram amrutam. Tam shukram amrutam brahma vidyat. Bas, may you know this Brahman, which is immortal, free from any, which is timeless, which is limitless. So may you know that. May you know that. That's then Upanishad ends there. So therefore, Bhashyakara says, Sarva Upanishadam tadarthena upakshaya. So this is the thing. Let's go further. Bhashya. So Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi ayam Atma Brahma, we read it. Tat Satyam, after that there is a full stop, you remove that. Tat Satyam sa Atma. Yes sakshat aparokshad Brahma sabahya abhyantara. Yajaha Atma eva idam sarvam ityadinam. So Tattvamasi, we are not going into that, you know very well. We are doing Mandukya, so we know that Tattvamasi, you are that. You are that Sat Brahma, which is the cause of the entire creation, in which the whole creation is woven, is non-separate, etc., etc. That's a Turīya. Then I am Atma Brahma, that is here itself. I am Atma Brahma. This Atma, which is self-evident, is Brahman, Turīya. Yes, and then, what is that? Yeah. Tat Satyam Sa Atma. Well, Tat means that Turīya is Satyam. Well, that is, Tat Satyam Sa Atma. That Turīya, which is the cause of the creation, is the Atma. Yes, Sakshat Aparokshad Brahma. Yes, Sakshat Aparoksham Brahma. We have to convert the fifth case into first case. That's a Chandas Prayoga. Sakshat, which is evident, self-evident. Sakshat Aparokshat, which is basically self-evident. Atma. That is Brahman. So self-evident, I already told you. Everything is evident. Right? You say time is. So time is evident to you. Space is evident to you. Mountain is evident to you. Everything. Black hole is evident to you. Sun is evident to you. Body is evident to you. Memory is evident to you. Thought is evident to you. Hunger is evident to you. Thirst is evident to you. The very sight is evident to you. The hearing is evident to you. The words is evident to you. Evident. Evidence is object of knowledge. Everything is evident to you. Therefore, you are there or not? That question should not be there. The whole thing is evident to one, but that should be there. Yeah, then how do you know to whom I is evident? You are evident to whom? You are evident to some other I? No. If the whole world is evident to you, you must be self-evident. So you know you are very much there. So this is called Sakshat Aparokshad Brahma. So this is self-evident. Brahman is this Atma. I. Sabhakya Abhyantaro Hyajaha Mandukya Upanishad. Well, refers to this Turīya as a Sabhakya Abhyantaraha. So which is Bahya and Abhyantara. So that is this has been said in there, which is simultaneously Bahya and Antaraha, which is free from any limitation. What is Bahya, what is external, is not internal. What is internal is not external. But which is external and internal both, like a space. It is limitless. which is there within the pot, it's also there outside space. Therefore, space basically has no limitation. It's all pervading. That's what it means. Ajaha, which is free from birth, etc. Divyo hyamurta purushaha, etc. also is there. So that is the part of that. Atma eva idam sarvam. So the Upanishad says Atma alone is everything. I think that is in Aitareya or something in the beginning itself. It is there. So this is how it has been said. Atma alone is in the beginning. From Atma alone everything has come. Means Atma is the cause of everything. Or Turīya is the cause of everything. So all these statements, Mahāvākya from the Upanishad reveals what Turīyasya Atmatvagame. That Turīya, the cause of the creation, Brahman, is Atma. Ityadinam, Shrutinam. Then further Bhashya. Soyam Atma Paramartha Aparamartha Rupaha Chatushpadi Yuktaha Tasya Aparamartha Rupam Avidyakrutam Rajju Sarpadi Samamuktam Padatraya Lakshanam Bijangurasthaniyam Atha Idanim Abijatmakam Paramartha Swarupam Rajjusthaniyam Sarpadi Sthaniya Ukta Sthanatraya Nirakaranena Aha. So Shruti Aha. Shruti reveals. So in the seventh mantra, Nanta Prajnadina, etc. So Shruti reveals, before Bhashyakara enters into the seventh mantra and comments upon that, he just gives his general observation with reference to these four padas of the Atma. So which is not explicitly mentioned by the Upanishad, but Bhashyakara has derived the way Upanishad talks about very beautifully. You will not find word mithyā. You will not find a word adhyaropa. We continuously use the Shruti has not used word mithyā, etc. That is why many people feel that these people basically they talk like this on their own. There is no concept of mithyā, satyam, etc. in the Shastra. It's not true. So here also Paramartha Rupam, Aparamartha Rupam, etc. Bhashyakara's observation from this, there's the sixth mantra and the seventh mantra now. So he is observing these four padas of the Atma, four quarters of Atma. Three are mithyā and one is satyam, etc. That is, so mithyā, satyam, etc. Paramartha Rupam satyam, Aparamartha Rupam mithyā, etc. So that is his observation. Because in Shastra it is not said. The first pada is over and then said, well, this is Aparamartha Rupam mithyā. No. But this is Bhashyakara's general observation. And logically, Bhashyakara says this is how it is. So, Upanishad has mentioned Swayam Atma Chatushpat in the second mantra. And then from the third mantra to the sixth mantra, 3, 4, 5, 6, three padas have been narrated. What are the three padas of the Atma? And the seventh mantra will be the fourth, so-called fourth, that is Turīya. So, Shankaracharya says that of these four quarters, three are mithyā. Three are mithyā. And they are, mithyā means they are vyavārika. We have to tell some reality. So we say it's empirically real. Yeah, because we experience it. So their existence belongs to vyavāra. Not more than that. Their existence belongs to experience. Experiential existence, empirical existence, etc. which serves a certain purpose. So we say it is real. Vyavarika satyam, etc. But aparamartha rupam. That's what Bhashyakara uses the word. So, which three? Well, antaprajnaha, bahishprajnaha and ghanaprajnaha, vishva tejasa prajna, etc. I am not going into that cosmic thing also, simultaneously Vishwa, Virat and all that, but you can understand. So, vishva tejasa prajna, they are basically aparamartha rupam. And that is said here. And aparamartha means mithyā, asatyam, etc. And the fourth pada, which will be revealed in this seventh mantra, will be paramartha. And that is what Atma is. Chatushpat means three mithyā plus one satya. Right? So 3 plus 1, that plus is not, but you take it that way. Chatushpat, 4 padas. So these 3 mithyā, which has been discussed between mantra number 3 to 6, and the 7th pada, which is Turīya, which is satya. So that is 4 padas. So entire cosmos now, Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna, and the world, which is corresponding waking world, dream world, etc., or unmanifest world, all in all is basically a mixture. If everything is Atma, but then it is aparmartha rupam, paramartha rupam mixture that shows the jiva, Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna, etc., the world, right? And the self identified with the cosmos, etc., Ishvara, all are nothing but a mixture of aparmartha, paramartha. That's how we have to see. Everything, Jiva, Ishvara and Jagat, everything is a mixture of satya mithya. That's, you can see. Everything is a mixture of vastu, avastu. That's how Vedanta Sara describes. Vastu, satya, avastu, mithya. Paramartha rupam, aparmartha rupam, or satya, mithya. Anyway, so it's a mixture of real and unreal. Anyway, this is the first observation of Bhashyakara from this 3 to 7 mantras. His general observation from the Shruti. The second observation is, among now these 3 padas, right? Among 3 padas, the mithya padas, fourth is a Turīya, that is Satyam. So among these 3 padas, 2 of them are karya pada, and the 1 is a karana. All the 3 are mithya, but in that 3, 2 are karya padas, 1 is a karana pada. And what are the 2 which has been discussed in the Prathama pada, Vishwa and Virat, and discussed in the 4th mantra, that is Dvitiya pada, and that is Taijasa and Hiranyagarbha. These 2 are karya padas. 3 to 6 discusses 3 padas of Atma, which are mithya, of course, but in that 3rd and 4th mantra discusses Prathama pada and Dvitiya pada of the Atma in terms of Vishwa and Virat, and Taijasa and Hiranyagarbha, they are karya pada. And the 3rd pada of Atma, which is discussed in the 5th and 6th mantra, is a karana pada, Prajna and Ishvara, etc. So this is how within mithya also, Bhashyakara's observation, within mithya also there is a karya karana pada. And finally, what is discussed in this Turīya is satyam. Means definitely it is neither karyam, neither karanam. So karya karana both are mithya, and therefore karya karana vilakshanam, that is a Turīya. It is beyond cause and effect. And that is going to be revealed in the 7th mantra. So soyam Atma, Bhashyakara says, this Atma, let's read that. Na antah prajñam ityadina. Nanu atmanah chatushpat, soyam Atma, paramartha rupam chatushpadi uktah. We read it anyway. So soyam Atma, so this Atma which is myself, well, aparmartha paramartha rupam, which is a mixture of paramartha satyam and aparmartha mithya component, chatushpad iti uktam, has been revealed as that Atma, which is in the form of a paramartha and a paramartha mixture, is chatushpad. So it is 4 quarter. Atma is chatushpad. Where it is said in mantra number 2, soyam Atma chatushpad, etc. That has been further elaborated in 3 to 7. 4th pada we have to discuss, that is Turīya, in the 7th mantra. Now we will be discussing that. So, soyam Atma paramartha paramartha rupaha chatushpat iti uktaha, in the 2nd mantra. Tasya means what? Of that Atma, which is chatushpat. Tasya Atmanaha. Aparamartha rupam avidyakrutam. So now he explains. He has used this word that it is a mixture of aparmartha, paramartha rupam. But what is aparmartha rupam of that Atma? Well, that is avidyakrutam, which is basically projected, avidyakrutam. So it is projected out of Mula Vidya, Maya, etc. And therefore it is what? Naturally it is mithya. Therefore he explains it giving an example. Rajju sarpadi samam, which is equal to rope snake. So Rajju sarpadi samam uktam, that has been already talked about without saying that it is mithya. So the thing is, if Upanishad does not say it is mithya, how did Shankaracharya ji says Rajju sarpadi samam, etc. So all this aparmartha rupam, which has been discussed as the three padas of the Atma in mantra 3 to 6, they are Rajju sarpadi samam. They are like a rope snake. Means mithya. But Upanishad has not told. At the end of third mantra, fourth mantra, fifth mantra, sixth mantra, Upanishad has not told that it is mithya. Then why Bhashyakara says like that it is mithya? Well, during, of course, that adhyaropa on the Atma, all these are adhyaropa, naturally, right? All these are adhyaropa. Aparmartha rupam is adhyaropa. Like a sarpa is adhyaropa. So during that adhyaropa, Upanishad never said that these are adhyaropa, etc. Creation is adhyaropa, that we have to, because ultimately is avidya krutam. Avidya krutam means maya krutam, etc. Mula vidya krutam. Therefore, it is definitely adhyaropa. Like Rajju, ignorance is there. Then a sarpa which is born, created out of that Rajju, right? Rajju ajnanam, basically. That sarpa will be what? Adhyaropa. Therefore, mithya only. So, during that adhyaropa between mantra number 3 to 6, Upanishad has not told them as a mithya, etc. Then how will you know it is mithya? Because in the 7th mantra, all the three padas are negated. If three are negated, then definitely they are mithya. If they are negated, it will be shunyam. If shunyam, non-existence is there, then the non-existence cannot be described as a three padas. Three pada means a waker, and the waking world is non-existent? No, it is existent. Experience. And therefore we experience, but they are not real. Therefore it is adhyaropa. You experience a snake, right? But basically when the sarp is negated, you find it, that it is adhyaropa, mithya only. So during that discussion in three padas, between mantra 3 to 6, Upanishad has not told it is adhyaropa. Of course, by saying Atma's pada, we understand very well, but still, clearly adhyaropa, mithya, etc., nothing has been told. But in the 7th mantra, Shruti, while discussing the 4th pada, negates the first three pada. Therefore, all the three are mithya, and this 4th pada must be the ādhishṭhānam for all the three. That's how it is. No mithya will be possible without ādhishṭhānam. Right? No mithya will be possible without ādhishṭhānam. Ādhishṭhānam must be that, and ādhishṭhānam should be sat. Right? Ādhishṭhānam should be sat. Because you experience everything and you say it is, but that existence do not belong to this three pada, existence do not belong to Vishwa, Tejas, and Prajna. Existence belongs to that ādhishṭhāna alone. Like the existence of the sarpa is not existence of the sarpa but of the rope, same with the ādhishṭhāna. So therefore, when Upanishad is going to negate Vishwa, Tejas, Prajna, that proves that these three padas are basically adhyaropa, aparmartha rupam, mithya, etc. So Bhashyakara says here, so paramartha rupaha chatushpadi yuktaha tasya aparmartha rupam avidyakrutam rajju sarpadi samam. Right? And then you say padatraya lakshanam uktam. That's better. Uktam you take it after padatraya lakshanam. So rajju sarpadi samam, which is equal to rajju sarpa, and padatraya lakshanam, which is characterized by the three padas between mantra number 3 to 6. And which is in the form of, which is characterized as a karana-karya also. Well, that is rajju sarpadi samam, well, avidyakrutam, etc., etc. And bijankura-sthaniyam. So bijankura-sthaniyam. So, and so bijankura-sthaniyam, which is basically, it is like bijankura-sthaniyam means which is equal to bija ankura, which is equal to cause and effect. Bija is a cause and ankura is a effect. So, which is padatraya lakshanam, which is characterized by the three padas of the Atma, the Turīya, and which is characterized as, or which is said as a, which is equal to cause and effect, like a seed and a sprout. And that is that is Bijankura Sthaniyam, that has been said by the Shruti in the 7th mantra, that they are negated, and this Turīya is like a seed, etc. So, what is the methodology used here? Sarpadi Sthaniya Uktaha Sthanatraya Vinirakaranina. So Sarpadi Sthaniya Uktaha, similar to that Sarpa, etc. Sarpadi Sthaniya Uktaha Sthanatraya Nirakaranina. So, Sarpadi Sthaniya, which is equal to like a Sarpa, and Sthanatraya Nirakaranina, Padatraya Nirakaranina. So, well, basically, it is in the form of these three padas, which is equal to snake. Now, here we can give one more, because the projected snake, the Dhyaropa, is one. Here, that is being equated with three padas. That three padas are like that Sarpa only, etc. Right? So, you can add more. On a rope, due to ignorance of the rope, you basically superimpose a snake, or you superimpose a garland, or you superimpose upon a streak of water, etc. So let's take three, because there the three are there, padatraya are there. So here we can give three examples, not just one, Sarpa. No. So we can tell accordingly. So could you follow what I'm saying? So we can give three examples. Somebody, even I can, anyway, I have given you example of I had an experience of the cable, and that's for me, it was exactly like a, anyway. So, Nanta Prajna Mithyā. So, Sarpadi Sthaniya Uktaha Sthanatraya Nirakaranena. That is to be negated. And the negation itself proves that they are Adhyaropa. And they are mithyā. So, all the three are one. O capital. We also now we have to learn all this. Like bliss capital, B capital. So, happiness and bliss, the difference is there. So, we also here do that. Anyway, so Nanta Prajna Mityādina. So, we'll start the mantra next time. Nanta Prajna Mithyā. So, this is what Bhashakara's observation regarding Chatushpadatma. Three are Mithya, one is Satyam. Three are Paramartha Rupam, one is Paramartha Rupam. Even though Shruti doesn't say, but since they are negated while describing the Turīya, therefore the Turīya is ādhishṭhāna. Knowing Turīya, well, all these three are negated. So Vishvata is a prajna, basically are negated. Means the Atma is Vishva. Well, you are not. Vishva is you, definitely you pervade all the three, because they are all your padas. You pervade Vishwa and Virat. You pervade Tejasa Hiranyagarbha. You pervade Prajna Ishvara. So you is the reality. You, not Jiva, are different from Ishvara and Jagat. That duality is not true. Experiential one will experience the duality, but behind duality, what is the reality is the non-duality. And that is what is. That's how quantum mechanics prove everything. Yeah. Between two metals, there are so many differences. That's what the malleability is different. This is different. This is different. That is different. This is. All metals are different. That is not physics, really speaking. That your own observation. Physics enter when they say behind this duality, so-called apparent differences. For them, it is apparent. What is there is a non-duality. Energy. So what is there behind this matter is non-dual energy. Same way here. So duality is experienced. Vishwa and Virat and these and all, everything, all three states and all duality. What is there behind that sun and the person, behind the sun and the mountain, right? In that cloth is a non-dual thread woven. Totally. That's what you are. That is one. Thread is one. Alone appears a cloth. Alone appears the all embroidered things. That's whole creation. So this is how. Then where is the question of this tṛṣṇā? Wanting being, struggling being. Struggle as a waker. I take myself as a waker. That's it. That's an end of a comfort. That's how deep sleep state comfortable. I am just myself, free from any limitation, free from self-judgment. Let me tell you this. No judgment. The judgment is always a wrong judgment. Because the underlying principle, underlying the cause, principle, okay, is ajnana, mula vidya. If you understand you are Turīya, pervading all the three are one alone, O capital. But I am distinct from all the three. They are me. I am distinct. That's how it is described as a fourth. Really not the fourth one, which is to be experienced in a samadhi, etc. No. You pervade all the three. You are free from this three. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.